Okay, welcome back into another Tunes Brothers. We've got Down Under Dave and Louie. Of course, being on a Sunday this week. Hello, everybody out there in the comments already. Because of me and Darren's travel plans for the concerts this last few days, and Darren will join in later. He's just finishing up some family stuff. Brave Retreat, judging from the thumbnail, it doesn't look like Paul was at the meet and greet. B, it doesn't look like Rob had a chance to insult Paul. And C, Paul probably didn't get to give Rob his comeuppance. Okay. Yeah, well, I got all kinds of things to touch on here. So that one is the elephant in the room. But what does that say? Yes, they did play Burnout. It was fabulous, or whatever. Anyway, we got the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're going to start with the ugly. The ugly was just about 2 hours of driving in fucking pouring rain just to get to Minneapolis, which absolutely sucked. Darren missed the meet and greet because of fucking plane bullshit delays and missed connections as a result. And if you think that's bad, wait till he tells you about his trip home. Easy, no touching allowed. Wrong channel, Rob. That is only your feet channel. Thank you, J-Bake. Hit the button for the Tunes Brothers. Hit the like button. Yes, I agree. Okay, so the other thing, let me preface this by saying everybody involved with the warning, their crew, their team, whatever, fantastic. That being said, this is my favorite part of having a podcast because I get to rip someone to fucking shreds. And we'll get into more, I'm sure, when Darren's here and J-Bake will be with us in a little bit. We show up, I meet Jason and some of the other guys, and we're just, chatting outside waiting for the doors to open. And then when that happens for us, because we have the meet and greet, we get to go in first, door closes behind you. You're like in this little fucking lobby. And they have you line up in rows. So we're all sitting there chatting, everybody's getting along, good times. Until some fucking absolute jackass comes out who works security for the warning. This guy is tough guy personified, right? Or at least so he thinks. So I want everybody's opinion when I tell you this to see what your reaction would be. This guy comes out, says we got some rules. The band will only sign one thing, and don't let me catch you asking the band to sign anything else. Okay. Then he goes on and says, do not touch my girls. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, male or female, I will take you down. Now, for the record, thank you, J-Bake. Rob is referring to Charles. I didn't know the douchebag's name. Now I do. First of all, sure, this guy's like 6'2"-ish, flabby in all the right places, not fat, but no muscle. So coming out number one, not Charles, Jason says. Oh, not referring to Charles. Okay, sorry, Jason. Yeah, this is some jack off. J-Bake said's only been working for him for like a month or some bullshit. But to come out and insinuate basically, and I've heard about the stalking problems that the warning has had at some of these events. I don't give a shit. You come out to a room of at least 50 people and immediately talk to them like they're a bunch of fucking pedophile criminals and scold them, and these are your meet and greet paying fans. Second of all, I happened to meet a guy in J-Bake's group that would kill this man, right? So the first thing you're doing is inviting a fight, which is stupid. The second thing you're doing is insulting every fan there. especially by saying you will take out women and children and elderly. Take them down. This guy was not being funny. He was nothing but asshole attitude and pissed me off right from the jump, right before the meet and greet. I was fucking fuming. So instead of coming out and saying, hey, you know, we've had some people go a little crazy, please just keep your distance, you know, don't come up and approach the girls or anything. And also, they're only going to sign one thing for you, you know, sorry, that's all they got time for. No. Don't let me catch you asking the girls to sign anything extra, and don't you touch my girls or I will take you down. This is who they got representing them. This guy needs to be fucking fired. All right, so that's all for the ugly. That's it. The bad, nobody's fault, is the obvious to the pictures. Powell was not at the meet and greet. When they line you up in like kind of a semi-square with the table and their backs are to you and you're off to the side. So I couldn't tell anything until I was like third to go up. And then I just saw one of the girls, dark hair with a black leather trench coat type thing. And then Danny, because unmistakable blonde hair, but seeing the backs of both of them. So I wasn't sure if it was Allie or Powell sitting there, because sitting, you're not seeing height and all that. As I got closer, I realized it was Danny. I'm sorry, Allie. So a little disappointing that they didn't at least say, hey, this is why. I mean, we didn't find out technically. I mean, I did because Jay Biggs connected. Later, he told me, but Danny didn't even address it with the crowd that Powell was sick until over halfway through the show. So that's it. And people, she was truly, truly sick. I felt so bad for her. When you watch them play, obviously she's always singing backup, and every time she'd sing a line, she would then turn and just cough and cough while still playing. In between songs, she'd be taking really deep breaths, and she was fucking miserable. So hats off to Powell for fighting through that. I'm assuming the meet and greet now no show is because she was worried about spreading germs. Because she did at the end, when she threw out her drumsticks, say, whoever catches these, wash your hands. So that's the only bad out of the whole ordeal, warning related. And it wasn't anything they did. It was just that I didn't get to meet Powell. But, you know, it's what it is.
I was going to say, Rob, you've done security like I have. And the one thing we were always taught was about communication.
Yeah.
And that's not how you communicate with people.
No. So, he was very confrontational and looking to thump his chest and, you know, impress everybody like he was, you know, Mike Tyson or something. I was just rooting that there'd be someone just drunk enough to fucking call his bluff and beat his ass into the ground. But that didn't happen. Anyway, the show was fucking incredible. I mean, incredible. There is nothing I can say to thoroughly explain what I witnessed other than it was like you were watching Teatro or Pepsi or Center, but it was 2 feet in front of you. Because we were second row. I eventually backed up a couple to let some girls who was their first show get in front of me, partly because I was feeling generous, but mostly because there was a pat behind and in between me and Darren. Anybody who hasn't watched old Saturday Night Live might need an explanation. The explanation is, I thought it was a young kid, dude, right? Mullet, looked every bit male. And that's all I paid attention, because I couldn't get past the absolute shit ass breath this person had. It was enough to make you want to fucking vomit. So eventually I just let these girls go in front of me so they'd be squared up with him. And then he turns and makes buddies with the chick next to him, and they turn facing each other, talking the whole time. And the first thing I'm thinking is, God damn it, I can smell your breath now, because you're breast pathing right in front of my face. But second, how this girl didn't say, what the fuck? I mean, they just would chat it up, and I'm like, oh my God. During the concert, no less. But anyway, But yeah, seeing them up that close is just surreal. Absolutely surreal. And even Pow on the drum kit, it's not like a Kiss stage, right? Where the guys are up front and the drum set's way in back of this huge, massive thing. So she's right fucking there. I mean, you could make out everything on her face, everything. If she had a boogie hanging out, you could have seen it. So I'm close to all three of them, and they're just fucking amazing. They sound amazing. The only part I noticed, I'm happy to say, as much as I don't have a problem with it, one time I noticed there was piped in tracks, and that's the end of Material. Is that right?
Well,
Okay.
you're saying the name right, but I don't know if that's the song.
No, that's what I mean. Did I say it right? The ending part where they're all, because Danny was singing while playing. Allie was back playing the bass, and Pow was just struggling to not pass out. And so there's no way that tremendous chorus came through Danny alone, but I don't give a shit. Other than that, you could clearly tell every lick of every vocal was truly live, which made my fucking day. So questions, comments, concerns, Dave and Louie.
Well, I just want to say this. This is good to know for people to know. If you just take any kind of Dayquil or cough medicine or anything in a cup about like maybe 8 ounces, halfway of the medicine and the rest water, and chug it down, your cough will be gone immediately. I wish Pal could have known that. She could have taken my recommended recipe.
I should have gave her your number, man. I should have gave her your number.
You say, hey, Pal's coughing, Lou. What do I do? And that would have fixed it. As far as security goes, I worked security 14 years, and I never talked to anybody like the way that dude did. I mean, I worked at a mall, and one of the things I remember is one time they said to me, Lou, the cleaners have to clean. They had like carpeted staircases that people would sit on in the center court. And they said, Lou, we got to start telling people to move over because the cleaning people have to come in and vacuum the carpets. And I said, don't worry. I just stood in the middle of the center court and I said, folks, I need you to all stand up and move over to your left, as over on the other side, because we got some cleaning to do. They all got up. They all moved over. They sat down again. See, you don't have to talk garbage to people when you want.
You don't want to evoke confrontation of any fucking kind. First of all, someone could have popped your ass with a weapon or something. It doesn't matter. It's just not worth it. It's not respectful. And you're representing the band in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Rodolfo Hoffman, do you confirm that Danny is the best front woman currently? I'll do you one better. Ever. And I took my shot at talking to Danny at the meet and greet. First of all, you couldn't find a more happy, light up the room face and smile than Danny. And I watched as a couple people went before me. Everybody was like, hey, how you doing? You know, and you know, a little of that's forced, but man, I got up there and she did that. And then she's like, how you doing? How's your day going? I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you know, and you know, it's fine or whatever. And,
so you at least got to talk a little bit. It was just
yeah. And Allie was trying to, I gave him Dave's record to sign. And Allie's like, well, do you mind if we pull the plastic back to sign it? Because, you know, it'll probably smear or whatever on the shrink. And she's trying to get it with her nail, and she gets like halfway and she can't get it. You can just see her just, where it's like, just tear it. So she just, like a kid with a Christmas present, tears it off. And while she's signing first, I told Danny, I said, you know, I don't usually say stuff like this. I've seen a lot of famous front men and women. I said, and tonight I'm going to get to see the best. And she just hands on heart said, oh my God, that is so great. And I just about walked off without this, what was sitting at the end of the table for each one of us, pre-autographed. And the dude called me back, and I went back and grabbed it, and she was still turned over smiling and waiting for me to get my thing. I mean, she's just fucking incredible. Allie didn't say much, you know, but whatever. I got to really talk to the one I wanted to. So
cool. Now
I was going to say, I think Ali's probably used to not saying much with the with those two anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm glad the security guard acted in the belligerent way he did, because otherwise you wouldn't have a good story to tell us. so that's the plus of assholery.
And it wasn't just there. We all had a powwow. It was so cool meeting everybody. I had no idea that many people knew who the hell we were. J-Bake had a group of people that all knew. I had a guy approach me, and he's kind of just pacing, waiting for his chance, because I'm talking to someone. And he said, I don't want this to sound weird or anything, but are you Rob? Yeah. I mean, so and all Victory Cast and Toons Brothers watchers. Another guy. We all went to dinner afterwards, a couple blocks away at a bar and grill called Lions. And if you're ever in downtown Minneapolis, you've got to have their burgers. They're fucking incredible. But we're sitting there talking a lot. And he goes, man, I know we've been at a concert before. Have you been to Warning at this show or this show? I said, no, it's my first Warning show. He goes, oh, well, then maybe it's not you, but I swear I know you from somewhere. And I said, well, probably YouTube. He goes, yeah, Victory Cast. So it was just crazy. All the people I met, everybody was fucking awesome. Great. How
much connection does J-Bake have to this band that he knows?
J-Bake, I am not at liberty to discuss J-Bake's behind the scenes life. However, he's a lot more important than he will ever let on.
Okay, well, my question is that he kind of should have let on to who you were to them. And
he did.
Like, oh, so what, are they going to start watching our show?
Hopefully.
All right, cool.
Dave, did you have anything on what I've discussed so far?
Yeah, are they going to be on the podcast?
No, I would never assume that kind of ego.
Do you have actual footage of encountering the girls?
No, you weren't allowed to have your phones there at all.
I've seen obviously there's a picture of you with the girls.
The picture of me was taken by their team and put online for us to download. Yeah, that was the first thing instructed is we cannot use our phones. They will take the picture.
Do you have the photos to put up for the show?
They've already been up. Oh, no, of the show.
On this show.
Well, I got. Crowd. Oh, no, I recorded like Allie's intro on one, which was bad. It was.
No, I saw the little shorts, but I'm saying, do you have pictures of you in the room with the girls you could show us on the show tonight here? Like, put up a picture.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see anything yet. I just
He's not on Facebook or anything.
I'll pull it up in a few minutes.
Okay.
I must admit, I feel sorry for Darren didn't get to meet them and get his album signed. And
yes, that sucks, but it is what it is.
Airports are terrible.
Yes, and especially nowadays, it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And there you go, Louis.
Oh, okay. All right. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's my album there. See it?
Yes, it is. That is Dave's, and I watched it get signed.
And I've got evidence now that it was signed by them.
Yes.
Wait a minute. But that picture's before they signed the album, because I don't see a signature on it.
Oh, it's after. Look at the album. Signed here, signed here. Both corners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They signed it. Looks like gold.
Yeah.
Funny story that I'm sure Danny's gonna, or not Danny, J-Bake's gonna want to touch on. Before the show, before we're even inside for the meet and greet, I look proud, Rob. Yes, I was extremely proud. That was, usually meeting, I've met so many musicians, it just doesn't faze me anymore, but this was different. I don't know why, but it was very special. Especially Danny. I just cannot express the admiration I have for her as a performer. It is just ridiculous. But we were outside waiting to get in for the meet and greet thing and just bullshitting. And somehow we got to talking, me and J-Bake, about the Warning attire that they wear for each show. And I went off on a fucking rant about what I think is the ugliest thing Danny's ever wore on stage, which is her father's tie and work shirt with the world's baggiest shorts. J-Bake took great pleasure in laughing his ass off when Danny comes out the first song of the show wearing said outfit. So, just to spite me, Danny wore my least favorite stage outfit. Just fitting.
The problem with us, Rob, is we're old men and we don't get today's fashion, because I look at some of the things people wear today and I think, what the fuck are you wearing?
Oh,
Eric N says no phones during the show. No, you could do anything you wanted with your phones during the show. When you were doing the meet and greet, you were not allowed to have your phones out.
But they let you keep them just in your pocket, right?
You just couldn't be
They didn't
taking
take them
pictures
off.
of them and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother said something. Just he's my old man. My brother goes like, I watched some of those videos of that other guy, that Toons Brothers thing, because I think it's kind of unsettling that four very old men talk about a band of 17-year-old girls. I said you should watch a lot of other videos. Just about everybody talking about the Warnings.
Well, hey, then the 40-year-old girls who play music should write better shit, and we'd talk about that. Okay,
There
so
are some.
J-Bake, Alejandro. Oh, he's talking to another commenter. Sorry, my bad. Go ahead, Dave.
Is J-Bake coming on the show or something? Or?
Yes, J-Bake will be here as soon as I give him the cue.
Special
set list. I don't have it memorized, but if you have questions, I could probably answer them. I do know Choke was like third, and I will tell you, between Choke and a little bit later Money, I almost completely lost my fucking voice by the time the show was over because of those two songs, and almost dislocated my shoulder during both with the old fist pump so fucking hard. I mean, I was coming out of my fucking shoes for those two songs. Other than that, you got everything you'd expect off this tour, minus Apologize, from what I'm hearing in other shows, because Pow's been sick for a few weeks or something. But they did do Evolve, right? That's the one with the big tribal scream. And Danny beforehand, that's when Danny finally came out and said, Pow's really sick, so she's going to need your help screaming. And she said, you all know what scream I'm talking about. When it comes to that part where it goes to the breakdown, and usually Pow's like, all right, and she says all her Spanish or whatever. She says, all right, I'm really sick, so I need your help. And then she does the scream with everybody in the audience screaming. It was so fucking cool. Set list wise, though, yeah, I mean, you still got most of the ones you think they should play. I mean, they did the Spanish one, even the
Narcisista?
Uno, Cuatro, Cinco, whatever that song is, burritos, nachos.
Quasimodo.
Yeah, that one. So, I mean, that was fucking fun. That was a fun sing-along. There are short clips of Ali on YouTube singing lead vocals in Spanish regardless. Okay, I got to stop.
So the question I would ask you, Rob, with the set list, the Keep Me Fed stuff that you don't like, did you find it more tolerable live?
God, I don't want to give J-Bake any fucking... Yeah. Yancey from the show, one of the viewers, awesome guy, was right behind me. And halfway through, he leans over my shoulder. He goes, I see you fucking jamming. It was sick, the opener. Yeah, Sick was very cool being there live. J-Bake, 6 feet deep, sick, satisfied, Choke, Quamos, burritos, and enchiladas. Escapism, Error, More, Money, Burnout, Sharks, Intro 404, Disciple, Hell You Call a Dream, Material, and Evolve.
That was that list.
And you're missing one there, J-Big.
Automatic Sun?
Yes.
I would love to hear you get up on stage and introduce that song.
Did they not play Automatic Sun, J-Big? I thought they fucking did. I thought they closed with it.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I swear to God, they closed with that. J-Bake was pretty drunk during this show, so you can't trust a lot he says.
I don't see 21st Century Blood or anything from Queen of the Murder Scene in that set, so I probably would have been a little disappointed.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't have been.
You wouldn't have been disappointed. Automatic Sun for the outro. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, great. I mean, even Sharks was enjoyable. They played it different. Danny is among the best ever. Yes, absolutely. Roblos, that is correct. And anybody who has any fucking doubts or you're on the fence, park your ass on her side of the fucking audience and just take in a show. You will have no doubts. None.
Well,
I told her, I said, her freaking energy is just unmatched by anybody I've ever seen. I mean, it was everything I said to her was 110% the truth. She is that fucking good. There was a part in there, I don't remember what song it was, where she sang a note and played something and started to fall back and then just went with it and did like this goofy step thing all the way back with a smile on her face. I mean, just a fucking natural pro. Amazing. I met a guy, G-Man, who has a channel on YouTube that he records videos. So he was in the very front row in front of me, and I was supposed to take his spot after the opening band because he was going to go up to the balcony to shoot the show, and I let these girls take the spot, thanks to Stinky Breath. But I came home immediately, and he has one video from the Fillmore up, one song, and he said in the comments he was disappointed. He was going to, look forward to getting me the whole show on there, but here we go. All the positivity shot right there. All right. Universal Music Group is launching a full-scale war on us reactors. I come home to go through a mountain of emails, one of the emails designated for my channel, to find out Pink Pop has been blocked. Almost 12,000 views before they decided to fucking block it. I would have to go in, and I started to, and I stopped. I don't know if it's worth it. I would have to mute or trim out like 5 songs. For some reason, not every warning song is blocked, but some are. What the hell is that hissing noise?
Did you just flush, Lulu?
No. It's itself, the float thing just drops some air and it does that noise.
Anyway, so everybody find an email or something and blast these sons of bitches into next week, because several people I have talked to now cannot get warning stuff to go up anymore. I don't know what that means for the future of Warning Saturday, other than, interviews and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't.
That's going to kill everything.
Yeah, and believe me, it was a buzzkill and a half to come home to not just me, G-Man, and a couple of other channels all getting their shit pulled or new stuff denied.
So is this going to affect all our warning videos, and they're all going to be blocked, and you have to?
I'm leaving them up, but if they take them, they take them. There's nothing I can do.
I mean, they can't take them. They can just block them from being seen.
Yeah, I'll still have access to them, but nobody else will.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a few of the major reactors obviously having troubles with this as well. And most of them now are fighting back through lawyers, because your US copyright laws actually allow fair play, fair use policy. And when you do reactions, as long as you're not just sticking up a concert and not saying anything,
correct. If
you're allowed to use that.
If you add something to it to make it informational or just put your own touch to it and you're not just reproducing it, I look at it this way. I've never understood it. You can share monetization, or you can say, hey, you can't monetize it, but we'll let you use it. Any way you look at it, it's 110% free advertising, and you can't even make the argument, well, because you put the song out there, someone could burn it instead of buying it. Bitch, you can listen to anything you want on Spotify or YouTube Music absolutely free without even paying for a membership. You just got to deal with a commercial here or there. So I don't want to hear that crap. And nobody's going to go burn a song off a Reactors channel where they're probably going to pause it or something. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they turned down free advertising is the dumbest goddamn business model I have ever seen. But I'm just warning everybody, there's nothing I can do. If it happens, it happens.
I think the people are blaming YouTube because YouTube are the ones not actually following their own rules
Yes.
and siding with the
YouTube's not fighting for our rights. It may not be YouTube who is trying to pull them down, but they're not asking questions. They're just whatever.
I still don't get it though. If they don't want you to get money from it, just take the money themselves. What difference does it make?
That's what I'm saying. They make the money for it. You know, you get your occasional, startup band will say, okay, this band will share monetization with you. Or that they won't say nothing at all, and you can fully monetize it. But 9 out of 10 times, if the band's got some kind of following and some kind of name, it'll say you can't monetize this, but they let you use it, and that's fine. I don't expect to make money off of someone else's work. I get pissed when all of a sudden I can't even show other people's work. I mean,
I think Rick Beato had it where I can't remember who he was interviewing, but he was interviewing a big star, and he played some of his music while they were talking about it. And of course, then it got blocked.
Yeah.
So even though he's got the artist on there, the people, the music company still blocks the video.
Well, that's the thing. The artists 9 out of 10 times don't own the fucking recordings.
No.
They own the publishing rights, but when it comes to the recording, that's usually still held onto by the record company.
It's really weird. It's like it's not. It's so hard to explain. It's like in the system, it's not even like a person finds it and complains. Like I cannot put my Kiss Meets the Phantom music soundtrack up as one video because it claims Warner Brothers owns this part and Universal owns this other part and some other company owns this. So it blocks the whole thing. So I had to put the things up in small increments. And even though the parts supposedly that are copyrighted, even though it's in a small increment, instead of connected to a big picture, the thing goes out, it plays, and people can see it. It's like I just put some other stuff up, totally blocked, because it's in, like, they already have something with YouTube, has some sort of knowing, like in a computer system, what's going to be blocked automatically, so it's not like, and I say, the artists have nothing to do with it. It's just like the studio could have it, the record company, the movie studio. And I think it still totally sucks. I mean, like it said, it's unknown how much warning can we show on these warning weekends.
That's it. It's a fucking roll of the dice. Do we waste 2 hours? And that's a big reason why. First of all, Gabriel Alberto Castillo Marquez, my fucking Spanish is impeccable. In the case of festivals like Pink Pop and their festivals and making YouTube pull videos down, same thing happened last year with Wacken in Poland Raw. Yeah, so it's not always the record company, but the end result's the fucking same, right? Whoever owns, okay, so we're doing a reaction to Pink Pop, right? So we can't monetize it. It's still someone watching their product that they could get monetized for. Here we go. We've got the mighty Darren making his appearance. We're just bitching about all the warning shit being pulled off, including our Pink Pop concert reaction. And G-Man, who we met, who filmed the entire Minneapolis show, not allowed to put it up. So we're venting there. I went through my stories. So go ahead and give us your take on your warning experience.
I enjoyed it. I mean, great. I mean, there was some crap leading up to it that made the day pretty shitty, making me miss the meet and greet. But the concert itself was fantastic. I mean, damn, they sounded just like the goddamn album, and you knew it wasn't something that, that they were lip syncing or anything like that. They were tight. It was good. I unfortunately Powell was under the weather, and you could tell. But for me, like I said, I had a great time. Meeting some of the warning army afterwards was great.
Which, by the way, people, most of these were big rollers in the Patreon, so that was even more awesome.
until Jay Bake started getting handsy. I mean, that was uncalled for, Jason. But
Handsy with who?
I'm just kidding. No, it was. I had a blast. Like I said, I know Rob had other experiences that happened before the show that, obviously I didn't get to witness. Mine was all positive. All, like I said, the show was great. The staff that I saw or interacted with at the venue, they were all great. The Patreon or the Warning Army at Lions afterwards, all very friendly, right? I mean, I knew some of these people were, huge fans and went to a lot of shows, but talking to some of them, like, one of them, this was his 19th show, 9th this year. And it's like, holy crap. I wish I had the time and money to be able to do that as well. But
we made poor choices throughout our life financially.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to let you briefly explain your troubles arriving and getting home.
Yes. So the first PSA I want to tell everybody is never, ever, ever, ever fly United Airlines. So shitty. So on Wednesday morning, my flight was supposed to leave Colorado Springs for Denver at 8 a.m. According to United, due to high winds in Denver, they weren't allowing any traffic to take off or depart. Take anything to go in or anything to leave. There's no traffic. So my flight was delayed 2 hours and 10 minutes for takeoff. Right, we didn't leave here until 10 after 10. The flight from Colorado Springs to Denver is, they say it's like 19 minutes in the air. But then, of course, you have to taxi and deplane, get your luggage, whatever. So I missed my connecting flight. The delay didn't affect them any. They left on time. So then the next flight to Minneapolis from Denver wasn't until 4 or 5 minutes to 4 or something like that. And that's a 2-hour flight. And I was lucky even to get on that, because in order for me to get a seat, somebody had to get bumped. Somebody had to willingly take to miss that flight and get compensated $500 in a travel voucher. And if people hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been to Minneapolis until 9 p.m. So, that was, I didn't get to the venue until 6:15. Had to coat check my bag. But from there, it was all great. The whole trip was fun, a blast. Rob and I can't speak for him, but I think he enjoyed it as well. We had a lot of fun. A lot of memories came back from all the road trips that we had taken in the past. When we had gone to Madison for Thursday's show with the Adam Music Project.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but so yesterday, Rob drops me off at the airport. I don't know, 10:30ish, something like that.
AM.
10:30 a.m. and my flight was supposed to leave at 1:47, I think, for Minneapolis. So that flight takes off on time. For Denver. That flight takes off on time. While we're in the air, captain comes on the horn and says, due to a stalled vehicle on our runway, we have been asked to circle, to circle around 37 minutes outside of Denver until it's cleared. So that is what caused me to miss my connection coming home from Denver to Colorado Springs. So I had to rebook. So I booked the next flight out of Denver to the Springs was at 5:30. So I don't know, what time did I actually land?
10:30 at night about is when you text me.
10:30 your time, 9:30 my time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, Yancey. Yancey's the one that caught me rocking out to Sick, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, Darren.
But so that 5:30 flight eventually left at 7:44 my time. Oh, 8:19. You're right. 8:19 is what it. So 4 different delays, 4 gate changes for that flight home. So I had to go from. So I landed at B50, no B35. I think no B50, and then was told that the flight would be leaving gate B69. So I'm at B69 until it's almost time to board. Then they say, nope, your flight has been delayed and moved to gate A40. So then I'm at A40, and then it gets delayed and moved to A23, and then I'm at A23, and then it gets moved to gate B50. So I had to change concourses twice, 4 gate changes, 4 different time delays. Fuck United Airlines. That's all.
Long story short is I drove home 400 miles and was rested and showered and eaten for hours before Darren got back from his flight.
That's bad.
That's
Listen,
bad.
I got a few things I want to address. Someone earlier before Darren came on asked if you've met a guy named Lalo. I guess he's part of the team or something. They said really nice guy. I don't know if you met him or not. Number 2, I would say I don't know all the airlines, how to rate them and all that, but my worst experience in my life was with Spirit Airline. They have a reputation for being horrible. And Rob, that little thing you were showing before, is that a medallion that goes on a necklace?
Yeah,
what
that's
was that?
no, that's the lanyard they give you for your meet and greet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. It looked before like you had the devil horn symbol.
Oh no, that's the warning.
Are you slipping that in the record sleeve, are you, Rob?
Now,
Funny guy.
I was being serious.
I just realized something, okay? When we're doing these shows live, we could show the warning content. It's just that the video can't go up after that. So we can still do reactions to full songs, and the people have to watch us live to see them.
That's the only way. That's the only way. Yep.
When you got
after the live,
after live, it's susceptible to copyright restrictions.
Yep.
So we can show the whole songs that we react to live. Then after that, the video either gets blocked or whatever. So remember, folks, don't say like, "Oh, I'm going to wait for the replay or something." If you want to hear the songs and hear the reactions that make sense because we heard the whole song, you got to watch the show live.
Yes, Jay Bake the morning knew I was coming and made the lanyard pink for the first time. So Darren, a lot of people sharing your pain with traveling bullshit in the comments. Their question and mine: why not just fly straight out of Colorado Springs?
I did. Oh, so there's no direct flights really. The only airline that I'm aware of that flies directly out of Colorado Springs has direct flights is Southwest. Other airlines used to, but a couple of years ago, it was like shortly before we moved here, the FAA restricted the amount of direct flights airlines could have. So airlines decided to cut out like the smaller airports having direct flights to a lot of locations. So if I want to fly out of here and if it's not on Southwest, I have to go through Denver. So
how long would it have taken if you would have just drove to Denver and then flew out?
So it's a little over an hour from here to the Denver airport, like an hour and 10, hour and 15, depending on traffic. But anytime I fly out of here, I always check to see what's cheaper. Would it be cheaper for me to go to Denver and then fly out, taking into consideration, whether or not that means I have to leave my vehicle there, or, if it's a weekend or something or day off that my wife has where she could drive me up there. But it was $250 more to fly directly from Denver to Minneapolis.
Now, would you going back in time pay that 250 to avoid the shit show you went through?
Absolutely. And I would have, if the airlines had been more transparent on the delays. Like I said, on Wednesday, Amber had the day off. So if they had told me right away that I wasn't going to get off the ground until 10:10 and miss my flight, I would have had, since Amber dropped me off at the airport at 6:00 in the morning, or 6:30ish, I just would have had her come back and pick me up and take me to Denver, and I wouldn't have missed that flight.
Well, the bottom line is you got to see the greatest current modern touring band that I could think of in an outstanding time. And those of you who know anything about downtown Minneapolis, that is downtown Minneapolis scrolling behind us. Don't let those beautiful images fool you. It is an absolute dirty armpit filled with ass matter. Downtown Minneapolis is a shithole, but we had a great fucking time. So, anything else on the warning before we hit? We're going to hit Adam Music Project. It'll be real quick. And then we're going to bring Jay Bake in for more warning. So everybody just bear with us. Anything else on the warning, Darren?
Nope.
Okay. I didn't mention to you, I completely forgot at the meet and greet that Danny slipped me her number on the QT. So, okay, so we
call her right now and tell her we're live to tune in.
Rob's voice is like Howard Stern's, but cooler. You saved yourself by saying, but cooler. I can't stand that douche nozzle.
You don't sound like Howard at all.
All right. Anyway, so the next day we get up and we are going to trek another 250, 60 miles an hour. I guess I need to put on a shirt or at least pants, please, Jay Bake. That would be swell. To go to Madison, Wisconsin. I never been to Wisconsin. So we trekked there for the Adam Music Project. Now you're going to be way better at filling in the details of what we did see versus what we were expecting to see, yada, yada. So go ahead, Darren.
All right. So before we got there, all we were aware of, 3 bands on the bill. It's supposed to be Adam Music Project, The Founder, which is the new band for the former lead singer of Hinder, Austin John Winkler, I think his last name is Austin John Winkler, and the band.
Any relation to Henry? I
don't think so.
Okay.
So those were the 3 bands that we were expecting to see. And then we get there and we see another drum kit on stage. We see 3 drum kits. We see the Founder on the left. Well, it'd be our left, so stage right. Center stage was the kit for Aranda, and then stage left was the kit for American Progress. So we don't see a kit at all for Adam Music Project. You know, I guess I wasn't worried about it. I just figured since the Adam Music Project uses the same drummer that Aranda has, that they would just use the same kit, right? So, the doors opened about 6:30. Around 7 o'clock, first band comes on, and that's American
Project, yeah.
And they were very good. I mean, their music is more punkish, but live, we listened to some of on the way back to Minneapolis, we listened to some of their studio stuff, and it was still good. I still think it was better live, a little bit more punkish, but very talented. I wasn't disappointed watching them, right? So, and then obviously, they played their 5 or 6 songs, and it's time to go, for them to go. So they take their kit off, and then another band starts putting on a completely different kit. And this was for Don't Look Back.
Don't Look Back. Yeah, I think so.
I'm reading the comment. Hey, Rob, does Danny have a sister from me? Clay, the other 2 girls are her sisters. But whether they're for you or not is a miracle that you'll never experience.
Don't think twice.
Don't what?
Don't think twice.
Well, think twice. Okay, yep.
So, and they were also very good live. Well, I should say American Progress was a 3-piece, and then a 5-piece, right?
Yeah.
2 guitars, bass. No, 4-piece.
It's 2 guitarists, the bass player, and the drummer.
Yeah, because one of the like the rhythm guitar was also the singer.
Yeah.
They were more heavy. Like, one of their songs is definitely more screamo, right? Or it's got that early Linkin Park where you got the one guy rah, rah, and then the other melodic voice. But it was still very, very good live. They were the guitar players were really solid. Like I said, I enjoyed them as well. And then Adam Music Project went on after they did. But I had seen Adam walking around during their set, so I knew that they were there and would most likely be performing anyway. Like I said, I didn't see their kit, but they did use Aranda's kit. There were actually other people there to see them because they knew Punch Out. They were singing along already.
It's actually being played on a radio station in the area.
Yes. Was it JJO or something like that? It was a little bit different than the WCCO out of Minneapolis, but very, very, people were there to see them. And then afterwards, once they had finished, we talked with Adam for a little bit, got our picture taken with him. He gave us a free piece of merch. So Rob and I each got a free t-shirt, and then we bought an album, and Adam was kind enough to autograph them. But they put on a fucking tremendous set. Unbelievable. And like I said, the crowd already knew Punch Out, which I'm happy for them. I hope that everybody watching our show has a chance to go out and listen to them, brag them up, because both Rob and I think that song Punch Out could be a #1 on rock radio. It's that.
And I tell you, if you like going to a show to have fucking fun, this is the band for you. The goofball antics, the costumes, Adam and the lead singer, which forgive me, I haven't learned his name yet, both hilarious on the mic, interacting with the crowd. The girl singer, Jesus Lord Almighty, she has got incredible pipes. Some of the shit she was doing reminded me of Roxette. That singer, cojones, right? This chick's got a body that won't quit, with like a little half shirt on, and she's out walking the crowd singing, a bunch of drunk dudes in the fucking bar, and couldn't give a shit. I mean, just an amazing show, amazing people, and great music.
They were either dressed as...
she was Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah, she was Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Adam was dressed up as Duke Nukem. Well, he says his cousin Fat Nukem is what he dresses up as. I don't remember the name of the character, but it's the lead singer is dressed up as the bad guy from the Sonic video game.
Yeah.
And then Lacey Saunders was dressed up as Lara Croft.
Yeah.
The lead guitar.
Their whole catalog is video game based.
Yeah,
which makes it both unique and hilarious. Like the song Donkey Kong, Jesus, man, is that a killer song too.
Yeah, I listened to the album today. Dude, I was fucking blown away.
Yeah, I mean, they're so gifted as musicians. Don't let the gimmicks and the humor fool you. These are some of the top musicians you're going to hear. Just incredible.
Yep.
So yes, Adam Music Project, get out there, buy it, watch it, go to it, whatever you got to do, support.
Listen to the radio, call your local radio stations and ask them to play it. Don't fucking tell them to play it. Get their names out there, right? I mean, it's worth it. We're not just doing this because we had this opportunity given to us or presented to us to be there, right? Well, It's not like we got free tickets or shit, right? We paid our own way. We drove there from Minneapolis, but it was a great experience, and their music is worth it.
I just had an off-subject thing to tell you. The band that we were wondering that we did that was from Italy. They're called Secret Rule. That was the one.
Okay.
That's the band from Italy. And I just wanted to say it before I forgot. Also want to say this real quick. My brother saw the Fantastic Four movie. He says it's much better than the Superman movie. And the Superman movie does suck. Okay? That's all.
Okay, so Nostradamus, great segue. Speed of Light opened in Orlando. They were talented, but not my bag at all. I almost forgot in the excitement for Warning when this video started to talk about Speed of Light, because I know there was a lot of people on our last Warning video saying, what are you going to think? What do you think? What do you think? This, another three-piece band. I cannot praise their musicianship and their fucking presence on stage enough. Is it my kind of music? No, probably not. Would I have to turn it off? No. But it was so fucking powerful live. The chick singer is 17 years old, bass player, and she's like body checking the guitar player during the solos. The drummer's an absolute fucking beast. I mean, these three kids were into it from opening to close, like complete pros, man. They were fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
They're all siblings too. It's two sisters, brothers.
She's the youngest. Yep, the guitarist. I mean, the drummer and guitarist are her brothers, and apparently she's been like singing with them, and obviously not. I don't think professionally as far as touring or anything, like since she was 7. So she's been at this 10 years. And like Rob said, she was fantastic, right? I mean, they all three of them were great musicians. She commanded the stage.
Big time.
Yes. So
yeah, I watched a video of them, like I said, really good at what they do and how they do it. It was just that none of the songs had that, "Ooh, I want to hear it again." It didn't have that for me. And oh shit. Oh yeah. And did they mention the Warning in a couple times in their show? Like we're glad they let us play, and we can't wait
to hear them or see them. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, and they came back out with the Warning.
I think that band has a good future, because just because the music isn't our bag doesn't mean it's a whole lot of other people that would love to hear that stuff.
No, and I remember you saying that, Lewis, in our last episode, where you had said that they were good, but nothing grabbed you. And I was stuck in the Minneapolis airport, the Denver airport for so fucking long on Wednesday. I listened to pretty much everything they had on Spotify, and I felt exactly the same. It was good stuff, but not something I would go out and add to my playlist. But live, it was completely different, right? Better. Still something that I don't think I would listen to.
Yeah, it was a live show I saw. Yeah.
Okay, Techno Dazed, crappy vocals though. You know what? I wouldn't say that. I would say she's got a very talented voice. She just sings a style I don't prefer, and it's not all screaming. I'll tell you something.
It's kind of like a Janis Joplin style.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody's experienced, right? There's a painting or a picture. You're like, oh shit, it follows me wherever I go. It seems like the eyes are always on you. That's this girl. No matter what, it always seemed like she was looking me right in the face. I mean, she's that attentive to the crowd. She's got the moves. She's got a stage presence and charisma. But I thought she was cool as shit. I'm obviously not making any warning comparisons, but I'm saying, fuck what you think of the music. As long as you like hard music, obviously if you're someone who hates any kind of rock or metal, don't go. But you don't have to like stuff as heavy as, just to see how hard they jam it out is fucking beyond impressive. So basically 2 days of absolute no shitter fucking performances from bands we didn't know and did know. A very successful 2 days. Now, I'm going to send Mr. J Bake a link, and he is going to join us and give us his professional take.
Hopefully he's dressed.
Hopefully, yes.
Is Dave's album in the mail?
Give me a minute. I'll show all that stuff yet. I haven't sent nothing out yet. I just got back yesterday, Louis. Settle down.
All right, sorry, the mail.
Post office is closed
Yeah,
on
I know.
Sundays.
Yes, I just remember. I since I don't work, I don't live in the days of the week thing anymore.
Okay, let's do this. Oh, you rotten bag. Go ahead and talk, guys. I got to get the link.
No, and the only thing, and I say that I'm disappointed about on the trip is I wish we just would have had a little bit more time that we could have stuck around to see Aranda. Now, I don't know what to expect out of the founder, but I have enjoyed some of Aranda's music for years. I wish I could have seen them, but had we stuck around, I mean, that puts us back in Minneapolis at night around 4 a.m, and there's just neither one of us would have been able to stay awake to drive those last.
What
Fuck,
kind of
we were both dead by the time we got 20 miles out of Minneapolis.
what kind of venue was all this Adam Music Project and all these other bands you saw? Was it bigger than the Warnings place?
No,
Or smaller?
no, we're talking about
Much
a small,
smaller.
like Ambits type club. It was obviously not an Ambits. It had a
I'm
name.
thinking max capacity for that
Annex.
place is like 400 maybe.
Yeah, it was small.
Was it seats or open floor?
All
Open
standard.
floor. There were tables, but not many. They set up tables in the back, and I don't know how much those would have cost, but they were taking. While we were in line, they were asking if anybody had table reservations, but there weren't many. So when you first walked in the building, there was a rather large bar area that if you wanted to, you could hang out there, sit down at the bar, but then you'd have to walk into the area where they would have the bands. And
It sounds like a place in Connecticut called Toad's Place, where it's a big bar, big, huge floor, a little room you could go to and drink, some tables, but mostly a massive open floor where Paul Stanley played there on his 1989 tour by himself. I didn't see him then. And Kiss cover band called Love Gun played there. Oh, they had all kinds of people. Rick Derringer, all kinds of famous people played there too.
Yeah.
But it sounds like similar to Toad's Place. We're looking at
This is
Punch
Adam,
Out.
that's
Adam
the
Music
Adam Music Project album.
and this was, of course, Dave's signed copy of Keep Me Fed.
Hey, Darren, show us your signed copy of Error.
That
was
blows,
cool,
man.
Well,
That
Sorry,
was
I was
cool.
just- I know.
You know, I got to tell you a little bit of a sad story. I feel so sorry for my niece. Her favorite band is Greta Van Fleet, and she went to go see them. And the dude tossed out a flower. And she caught it, and she kept that flower and to put into a book, and it was on the table. My mom goes to clean the house and throws the flower in the garbage because she didn't know. And
Ladies and gentlemen, terrible story by Lewis.
yes.
And we've got the powerful and attractive Jay Bake, the greatest host you could ever ask for. What's up, man?
very handsy.
There he is, Jay Bake. You don't look like your
Yeah.
avatar.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Now I can tell the real truth to your listeners because they want to know. Yeah, man, it was great. It was awesome having you and Darren come into town for your first Warning concert. And, you know, there's always a myriad of people that we see at different concerts and stuff, and really great people. And I think you guys got to experience a lot of that. I've never met someone at a Warning concert that I didn't like. And that's kind of rare. You know, it's like there's no attitudes, there's no bravado, just everybody kind of chilling out and having a good time. And it's one of the many reasons why I kind of appreciate that group of people. And I was glad you guys got to experience it. We did definitely miss Lewis and Dave for sure.
No, we didn't.
Shut up,
Okay.
Darren.
I had to pretend a little bit, but yeah, it was a great time, and I think you guys saw a really good show. You know, I mean the end shows are challenging. I think for the band, I've seen quite a few of those, and they really are tired. If you look at their concert schedule, you know they'd really ramped it up in June and July to finish off this tour. So that was their busiest months on the tour. So kind of a bummer that Pal wasn't there. I don't know if Pal didn't come to the meet and greet because she was sick or if it's because she knew Rob was coming. I poked my head in, and all I can tell you is my Spanish is terrible. And I believe I heard her saying, "Short, the only thing short is my fuse, and he's going to wish he had a victory cast when I get done with him." And she was shadowboxing with Ale. So I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, it was a real bummer, and I'm really sorry. And Dave, had I known, or if I lived closer, I would have just swapped KMFs with you, so you had a full KMF signed album. So sorry about that.
That's right.
You did better than that, though, didn't you, J-Bag?
What's that?
So you did
I
better
don't
than
know.
that.
I may have done a little better by you guys. I did not get you tour shirts because they didn't have our size. Slim pickings at the end, but I think Rob is going to send you guys out some stuff that I got for you.
So we've got fully autographed day of the show, last minute, Queen of the Murder Scene for Louie and Dave, as well as 21st Century Blood.
Oh, wow.
All signed day of the show. Me and Darren got ours. He made this happen. He made this happen right before Speed of Light came on with one of the Warning folks. Called in some favors, blew somebody, whatever he had to do to get them all signed backstage. So they are all complete signatures. Each of you gets 21st Century Blood and Queen of the Murder Scene.
Awesome, terrific.
But since the asshat Dave decided to make a crack about me not getting my shit signed, I say you scratch the fuck out of those albums.
I wouldn't be playing them anyway, so.
Yeah, I tried to get you air as well, but they were out of air and on the website.
I could have had Darren's if he'd shown up, but
yeah, could have.
Was this show that you saw like the last of the tour?
Yes.
Or are there more?
Yes.
So they're not going to tour again until next year or something like that?
Well, whenever their next album.
They have one more show in Choluca in Mexico, I believe, in August. And then I saw where they are opening for, and this is going to be good for them, I think. They're doing an 8-show set supporting Youngblood in Dublin and the UK starting next April. And, you know, he kind of got handed the keys to the kingdom from Ozzy on that, you know, last concert. So
I love these girls as a band and their personalities and music and everything. It's the highest level of respect and enjoyment. But do they have enough clout to play Madison Square Garden, or they're just not there yet?
I definitely think that this band can play anywhere. They're not going to wilt. They've got thousands of shows by this point under their belt. And I think Rob and Darren kind of felt it and saw it in person. They don't wilt in the big shows. You'll see when the movie comes out for
because I mean sometimes if the venue's really big, the band needs the finances to pay to play there. They got to rent out the place and all that. Do they have enough financial arsenal to do something like that?
You know, I have no idea. My gut instinct is no, not right now. They couldn't do it single-handedly. But can they play that being in support of another band? I think absolutely. You know, I think that they played huge stadiums. I think we'll see some more stadium stuff from them probably next year. And they really kind of rise to the occasion.
Yeah, there's a couple of arenas in Bridgeport, Connecticut that's smaller that I would love to see them there. Plus, it's an easier trip for me to go over there.
Sure.
I wish they'd play there.
So while we're talking about concerts, so is there plans for an Australian tour?
I have no clue. I had heard rumblings, but nobody connected with me. Dude, I'm just a fan. I'm the same as you guys. But I had heard rumblings of Australia. So who knows? You know, we had seen rumblings in your chat about a movie coming to the big screens, and you know, who knew if it was true? And now it's true, right? So sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire, and sometimes when there's smoke,
Is it a concert movie or a documentary movie?
it appears to be a concert movie. So I know that when we were in Mexico City for National, they were pro shot recording everything, all 3 nights, and they were actually even spider camming it. The second night, I don't know if they did it the third night. I think they did.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a theatrical release of this show.
They need to do this one thing that'll help push them even further. They need to get someone's got to get them a gig for, I don't know, 4 or 5 songs, whatever, on one of those New Year's Eve shows that they show on TV on those major network channels or something. They need a New Year's Eve gig. That'll get a lot of people that never seen them before to get to know them.
I agree. I mean, any kind of exposure obviously would be good for them. I'm actually kind of shocked that we have not seen them on the City group series, like on the Today Show, where they give them 30 minutes. You know, they have all kinds of artists. I'm actually kind of shocked that we haven't seen them there because they play New York quite a bit. But I mean, you know, you can plug this band into a lot of scenarios and they're never going to disappoint, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I love them. And I think most of the army follows them, you know. It's some of it's a little bit of we're proud uncles and grandfathers and grandmothers, because, you know, when you kind of jump on the wagon pretty early and you're able to see them kind of grow, you know, it's a weird sense of pride and it has nothing to do with you, right? So, you know, I really do think that they're kind of at a crossroads. I think that it would be hard to take the next step, right? They know they can sell out 1,200, 1,500, and on occasion, like with National, they can sell out 10,000 by 3 shows. Can they support an entire, you know, tour of 10,000 seat stadiums? I really don't know. But, you know, I don't know if the secret is going to slightly bigger, 3, 4, 5,000, you know, seat arenas, maybe basketball arenas and things like that might be the next step. I wish I was in the music industry. I have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people never really knew this, that the bands have to have the financial backup to pay or get a sponsor to pay for the larger arenas. They don't get to just play there and get paid. They got to pay the arena, the rent on the place.
And I think the warning might also be kind of special. Obviously, who knows? I know that they were aggressive when they signed their record deal with Lava Republic, that they really wanted to keep a lot of control in their house. Things like music rights and music creativity and things like that is what we've heard, right? And it kind of makes sense if you see what's going. So as part of that, they may have had to give up some of the blind support that they might receive from a label to help them along with some of that. You know, I mean, it's a give and a take. You know, I've heard people saying that maybe it was on a per album basis, like the control and the support changes as they go along in their contract. I again have no clue, but it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, if you're going to sign with a label and they have control, they would have more vested interest to do and sponsor a more, you know, forward type scenario. But if you're wanting the creative control and stuff, well, then you kind of got to do a lot on your own. So it kind of makes sense. And personally, I'm kind of glad that they did that. I think that the one thing we have not seen from them is a huge change in sound, particularly in the live performances. And I think that's great. I think that continuity, and they're really established. You know, I kind of appreciate that as opposed to kind of chasing the money.
Well, I just hope that the next album that comes out goes back to their earlier roots of being more self-creative and more elaborate with the musicianship and the better recording and everything else. Because the three major albums prior to Keep Me Fed, I think, are wonderful albums. Even though Queen is my personal favorite, the other two before and after are also terrific.
Well, speaking of the sound change, I can positively report to the girls in the warning who, at least one of the girls seems to have a problem with people our age being their fans. I was surrounded by, in the line for the meet and greet and on the floor up by the front, by young girls. This was an all age venue. So I can't, I'm so bad at judging ages of people now. They could have been anywhere from 18 to 22-ish. And they knew every song. They weren't there just because it was something to do for the night. They were pumped. One of the chicks in the meet and greet was talking to her friend next to me and made me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. She's like, their music embodies my life. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck. But you know what I'm saying? These young girls are into the warning. So give it time, girls.
Yeah, I mean it's really good too. I think Rob and Darren, you probably saw this as well. I think the 50-year-old guys like me who might not be what they want as a target audience, there are some real benefits, right? We have maybe a little bit more disposable income. We have kind of that protective nature in it. It's not anything weird, and I see a lot of these older fans really embracing these younger fans and really making them feel welcome and talking to them. And it's not just old people talking to old people. And so I think that we're, a lot of us try to be ambassadors, and we really want to see that younger audience kind of grow with them as well. That's another reason why I love it.
And G-Man TW, yes, G-Man, you were right in front of me, far from a young teen, but you had a luscious ass, G-Man. Great to meet G-Man. I subscribed to him immediately when I got home from the trip. So any of you who do not know him or know of his channel, go to G-Man TW. He does some great concert shots. So,
and he's really knowledgeable, and there's a lot of warning army type people and Vanguard type people that are really knowledgeable. So it's fun to kind of talk music and kind of relive the old days. I mean, we're all talking about concerts from 40 years ago, and I think that that's the real draw for the warning. Is it's not a bunch of pop garbage with a bunch of piped in crap. It's good to hear musicians playing rock and roll music live on the stage again. And I think we've all been kind of missing that.
Another benefit of having an older person as their fans, right? We have an attention span when it comes to music, whereas some of these younger people, it's the flavor of the month, right? They don't usually buy material, they stream it. So they're not making any money off of those fans. And when the next new flavor comes out, they jump ship. There's no fucking loyalty. You don't usually get that with, people of a certain age, right? I mean, I've been fans of the same bands for 30, 40 fucking years now, right? And I still listen to them. And if they still put out new music, I still support them. So, and I plan on doing the same thing for the warning as well, right? So I get it. It's not they might think that it's creepy old men or whatever, but I think they're wrong, right? Like I said, I think they're better off having a better mix of fans if they want to continue to get the support.
And Esteban, in regards to where is my warning t-shirt behind me, I was at the merch stand right away when we went in for the meet and greet. I thought about a hat, but $35 was a little steep for a baseball cap that just had the warning written on it, nothing special. And their shirts were all girly, right? I mean, they all looked like something a high school chick would wear. They weren't really catered to the male metal fan. So maybe I'll have to make my own. And yes, Gene, that was my hand you felt. All right.
Well, I'll tell you, I kind of kept my eye on Rob, especially at first, because I knew a couple things. One, I knew Sick was going to be like number 2 in the lineup, and I definitely wanted to see his reaction to Sick, but I didn't have to turn around, shockingly, because like I was telling him before, the only thing I compare it to is you see those old videos of when Elvis or the Beatles were playing and girls were just going crazy and almost fainting. That was Rob. I heard the scream when the first strum of the guitar hit for Sick, and I knew it was Rob because he's the only one screaming like that. So don't let him fool you. He was rocking out to Sick.
I already told him about the irony of me bitching to you before the show about Danny's shirt and tie outfit, and then she fucking comes out on stage with that same outfit.
Well, and the same for Danny, right? It was like everything that we picked. I was like, man, I hope they don't wear that. It was that exact lineup. They must have been miking the audience or something. It was pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, Warning concerts they're really worth the money and they're really worth the time. And you can't, until you experience it, you think people are crazy. But and Lalo Lewis is the sound guy, so he's the front of the house guy. I did talk to him for you, and I gave him the what for on Ali's mic situation.
Good. Give him hell.
Yeah, man, he does a great job, and in fact, I think I told Rob and Darren, before the concert started, I said, he's going to have them tuned. I've never been in a venue, big, medium, small, large, where they haven't sounded fantastic. Especially Powell's kit. I don't know how him and Sully get those traps set up like that, but her kit sounds amazing. And the guitars and the bass, I thought the mix was really good the other night. And the reason why I know it was good was because it was noticeable that Powell wasn't singing her backing vocals. And even though you might think, oh, that stinks, no, that's what I want to hear. There was an outage for a good reason, and it was noticeable. That's what I want to hear. If it would have sounded exactly the same with her mouthing, that would have been a disappointment for me.
Exactly.
And so
that goes to Christian here, who said, sorry he's late. How was it, Rob? Did you like the concert even with Pow sick? Yes, the concert was fucking fantastic. I would go 5 out of 7 days a week if I could. And I'll tell you, it was noticeable, like Jason said, that Pow was not singing, which is good, people. It proves that they're that fucking good that when they're all on, it ain't a track for most of that stuff. I made mention of the end of Material or whatever that song is, that big whoa, that was piped in because Danny was the only one at the mic. But I don't care about little shit like that. But as I stated earlier in the video, you could clearly tell watching every girl who was singing what. The fact that Pow's voice was audibly absent proves the fact. And even though she was struggling to sing, she still did everything to hit that Evolve scream with the help of the audience. She still played amazing. Was she the crazy animal? No, but she didn't miss a fucking beat.
Yeah, so, it was. What was the thing that shocked you the most? Like that you were shocked to see.
For me, what shocked me the most, there's a couple things. One, and I've always heard this, right? Being a reactor who was green to the Warning, all their stuff sounds. If you don't like it on the album, listen to it live. Well, I did that with songs like "Sick" and stuff, and it never changed it for me. Sharks surprised me because I fucking mocked and ridiculed that. Not that it was terrible. I just think it's cheesy lyrics. But I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it. And I caught myself before Yancey taps me on the shoulder and calls me out for it halfway through "Sick." Just fucking, I mean, there's something with the way that band delivers something live. And I'm not saying watching on YouTube. When you're there, like you said, Pow's kit, the bass from Ali, everything is so balanced to fucking rattle your chest that it just, you can't help but fucking enjoy even the shit you hate or don't like. How's that? That, and I shouldn't be shocked, but the fact that Danny had that high energy from start to finish, even when she
They,
wasn't.
they all they almost should have sang Powers really feeling, Powers really feeling, Powers really feeling sick.
Yeah,
What
I
about
mean,
you, Darren?
What was
go
that?
ahead,
Rob?
Darren.
You have anything that took you by surprise?
You know, again, what has surprised me the most since hearing the warning is again for a 3-piece how they just kick ass. I mean, you see some of these 4 or 5-piece bands that don't sound as good as the warning does with just the 3 of them. And yes, I know that some of that stuff is piped in, like Rob said, but it's not the major stuff, right? And just the way that it did hit you in the chest, it did rattle you. The one thing that surprised me, I guess, though, is the beginning where I'm not sure what caused it, but apparently, according to, I think, you, Jay Bake, had mentioned it as well as G-Man, that it's something that's happened at a few shows at the very beginning where Danny misses there's a miscue at the, when she hits that guitar to start the show. So, but again, accidents happen. It just proves that they are human, that, this isn't something that's recorded and just played for you while they go through the motions. It was a blast. I can't thank you enough, Jason.
There was a comment that went by, so I don't know who asked it now, what I thought about Allie's stage presence. I wasn't going to bring this up because it can be taken negatively. I discussed it with Jason after the show. It certainly isn't meant to be negative. Martin, thank you. She is where Pow and Danny seem legitimately letting their raw emotions take over in facial expressions. Allie looks like she rehearses every move. The shoulder thing, I didn't see her do. She's replaced that with this long, swaying, repetitive thing with her shoulder. And then she'll step up to the mic and she'll smile for like a half a second, and then it goes away and she goes on to side. It's like she's trying very hard to portray this beauty queen, which she doesn't need to try. But I'm saying her movements seem choreographed versus the other two being just letting their raw emotions take over. You're a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Did she sign those? Yeah, she did.
All three of them are signed. It's coming in bad because I've got the background blur, but a couple of snare heads.
Because
How
when
much is
we
that going to
first
cost me
got in,
postage?
when we first got into the meet and greet, there was one of those, and someone was already buying it.
I think G-Man, I think he was
Drumhead.
slipping.
Airheads.
I think
Yeah.
G-Man was slipping a few hundies to people to get access to those.
I mean, I wish you could see it. I mean,
You can
it's
see it.
really.
Yeah, I can see the big
Even
gouge there.
on the side, you can see where she's just totally warped on it. But what's
Hey, Bake.
is if you see her wear spot is actually pretty small, right? That shows how pretty consistent she is on the snare. Just an example. She's not all over the place, so she is consistent with her hand placement. But G-Man was able to get those for us, and
yes, to finish that question, her stage presence is fabulous. It just looks a little more rehearsed, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody rehearses choreographed moves in the mirror when you're a kid or whatever. She just comes across less animalistic than the other two. That's all.
yeah, that thing with Danny, I don't know, G-Man can probably correct, but it just looked to me like that when they plugged the pack in, it probably reset her to the wrong equalizer setting on her Kemper, on her foot pedal, her battle station, and so she was just on the wrong EQ setting. So he can confirm. He knows more about that than I do, but I've seen that a few times where either the tech hasn't set her up and she doesn't hit the battle station when she first goes on stage, and she's expecting it to do something different, but it only took her one note to figure out it was wrong. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, and G-Man, keep your head up, man. I hope to hell they let you get that whole show out. I was looking so forward to reliving it, because even when you're that close, like we were in a stage as smallish as that is, you still miss things, right? You can't watch every one of them at the same time. And it was I really wanted to see that Danny thing again, where she kind of stumbled back and then just continued with it with this wobble walk with a smile. I mean, she's such a fucking pro. I just wanted to see that stuff again. So hopefully they'll loosen the grips on every reactor and concert filmer's testicles here and let us start getting some stuff back up. Jason Baker, J-Bake, the legend, the man, the myth, and a fabulous host. I can't thank you enough. You are so fucking gracious and generous and fun. Definitely the life of the party. He makes everyone around him have a better time. And I'm not just saying that because he got his meet and greets. He's a fucking fantastic human being. And I would love the chance I'd love the chance to meet up with you again, no matter what concert it is. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely. You know, you guys are always welcome. Love to meet Dave and Lewis. And it was so much fun. Thanks so much for coming up. And I'm glad you got to experience them. You know, I think that it'll
So
make
you travel around with these girls and see all the shows, or you have to pick and choose your own?
I have to pick and choose. Yeah, no, man, I'm just a fan. You know,
How far have you flown to see them?
So I've seen them in 5 countries. I saw them in Zurich and Munich last year. I've gone to Canada a few times, I've been to Mexico a few times. So G-Man absolutely sees a lot more shows than I do. He caught quite a bit of this leg. I mean, there's a lot of people. Like there's, I don't know if you guys met Hala, but she's been to like 80. I think that was her 88th show or something.
Wow.
So I'm just a normal fan, man, and I just have a good time, and I get to meet great people like you and you know, all the morning, like Craig Yancey. You know, we met up, and Craig and Dan from Nashville met us in Minneapolis as well. So that's becoming one of my new favorite things. Is if I have a few extra tickets, I try to give them out to Warning fans that haven't had a chance to go and stuff. So that's pretty fun. And so thank you so much for coming up, and I don't know if I should thank you or the gods for not letting Pal be at the meet and greet, so I didn't have to worry about the bail money or any of that.
All right, I got something a little special planned here. If you want to hang out, it's a little video, J-Bake. You can certainly hang with us.
Okay.
I think the viewers are going to be pleasantly surprised. I suppose about 10 minutes. Shout out to Warren Schultz, who I was very excited when I got back to hit the mailbox and find a mysterious thumb drive that has some things on it that have been very much sought after by the watchers. So without further ado, I'm going to bring a video here, courtesy of the magical work that Warren did for us. So here we go. All right, Victory Casters, Rob here, bringing you another band I have not heard, have not seen this clip, contrary to what some people are saying in the comments. You know what, people? I love comments. I love this country. I love the ability for people to speak their minds, but I had some goof on there saying it was boring to watch me watch a recording that I've already seen, referring to Static X. To that I say, I had never heard of Static X until minutes before I did this video. I certainly never watched the performance. I'll certainly never watch it again, but I don't do that crap. I watch some other reaction videos briefly, because it's painfully obvious these people are just trying to sell themselves, right? I don't sell myself. I'm trying to promote or inform about music, and to this point, music I've never heard. I've yet to go through and do one of these videos for a band I have followed. okay? And I certainly don't pre-watch. Anybody who knows anything about me from my other podcast, Gen X Jukebox /3R, I am a big proponent of experiencing it with the viewer. All right, I'm not an actor. And I had another comment talk about how this was one of mine was the most boring or unprepared or whatever reaction video he's ever seen. Again, I'm not some moron trying to sell myself on YouTube as a hopeful celebrity on TikTok or something. All right, I'm just a dude bringing you some music. So if you expect me to get out here and rah-rah and cheer and talk about how awesome everything is and how, oh, I'm so floored, maybe that'll happen if that reaction is ever warranted, if it ever hits me like that. But I've been there, done that, seen it all, people. I've seen some of the greatest bands in the world. It is going to take a Herculean task for some band I've never heard of, or at least never heard from, to impress me to the point of some googly-eyed fanboy. I wouldn't cross my fingers and hope for that, all right, because it's probably never going to happen. The best music is behind us. So with that being said, you're getting a real reaction from me. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to bring you music, all right? I'm not an entertainer. I am not an actor. I am not a comedian. I don't know what you expect when you watch this. If you say it's boring watching my reaction, I'm giving you an honest reaction. That's it. I'm not one of these, come on down, Price is Right, paid overacting people, all right? It's just not going to happen that way. So, without any more bitching and moaning on my part, the band I'm bringing to you, and to clarify how I've been doing this, you know, and I'm welcoming fans to give me links or suggestions, but until then, I just start searching, you know, new metal bands, new rock bands, stuff like that, and I go through lists of people I've never heard of first. If it gets to the point where I can't find that, I will go to bands I've heard of but never cared to experience or check out. All right, so that's where I'm at right now. So this is a band called The Warning. It's and here's another thing for people who think I don't get my facts straight. I'm pulling this right off of Wiki. You got a problem with anything I'm about to say about this band, talk to Wiki. It's a Mexican rock band from Monterrey formed in 2013 by, and I apologize if I massacre names, Valerio Velez sisters, Danila on guitar, lead and backing vocals and piano, Paulina on drums, lead and backing vocals, piano, and Alejandra bass guitar, piano, and backing vocals. Their most recent album, Error, was released in June of 2022. So with that being said, let's get to a real reaction from someone who is not easily impressed and has never seen this video before, no matter what you think. All right. Without further ado, let's check out The Warning. Sounds a little like Carrie Underwood. Okay, so right off the bat, my impression here is this band is definitely tight, solid. The singer did remind me in the beginning there of Carrie Underwood, and I'm not a Carrie Underwood fan. but during the chorus, she's obviously showcasing some powerful pipes, solid, melodic, easily, nod along, hum along, sing along chorus. So far, so good.
I feel it slowly creeping in. I find desire leaves me frozen, stranded, waiting between what could have been. What am I thinking when I'm fully grounded? Standing still, going for the kill.
I love the way they're dressed. In today's day and age, with most people either being goth or just getting up there in jeans and t-shirts, these chicks so far are really impressing me with their image. Very glam, very hard rock metal. Love it.
Just count the noise, but you fill my void. Give it all up, but you feed my senses. You know you love it. You love it when I need you. Do you need me? Yeah. You know I love it. I love it when you feed me. Don't you leave me begging for more.
Can't tell if this is a completely live performance. There seems to be a lot of really, really good harmony, but I don't see anybody harmonizing with the singer. So I don't know if this is a case where the chorus is piped in or what's going on, but there's clearly more than one voice. I guess I'll have to pay attention, as this goes on to see
I wasn't paying
see
attention.
anybody else singing along with her. But they have great energy, and that's good to see. I'm so tired of the Katy Perry-esque all women are good for his choreographed dance moves. It's always good to see women headbanging and jamming and getting into the music.
1, 2, 3, go! I want it and you know it. Top of never show.
Fucking saw that there. Always awesome to have the cowbell.
You like it when I'm broken. You know you love it. You love it when I need you. Do you need me? Yeah. You know you love it. You love it when I need.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here from my experience with,
Cowbell.
being a guitar player and effects and stuff like that is she's got some kind of chorus or compression on her vocal track through the mixer. Looks like kind of gives it that artificial harmony to where it's kind of almost splits the voice into two different tones, because I don't see the others singing along here. All right, so decent. I mean, it's a good tune, and definitely something I would look into more. I'm not sure if this is pre-recorded, being I haven't heard this band at all. I could be fooled and it's not live at all, but the song's really good, and worth checking out some more stuff. Pretty impressive. Again, Mexican rock band from Monterrey, The Warning. So until the next video, thanks for watching.
Okay.
That video you just showed, was that made before the release of the album?
Jason?
No, they did that performance in 23. at MTV for the VMA is on the second soundstage, so it was out by that time. It was fairly new. I mean, More was being played very early on, so
Yeah,
they were playing.
yeah. Okay, because like we watched the Dust to Dust live video that came out before they put out Queen of the Murder Scene. So I think it's always kind of cool that they test the audience with a brand new song that they've not put on yet on an album, and then the album comes out with that song. I thought this was
Well,
the same
and they did
scenario.
quite a bit of that same maneuver with Keep Me Fed. If you went to any of their shows, like at the trail end of 24 and 23, like you were hearing, Hell You Call a Dream and Sick, they did in Monterey in 23. That was before it was all released. So we had heard, 4 or 5 tracks, and then Automatic Sun they released before, the album was really kind of released. And then, so I think they had done that with like 6 tracks out of the 12 off of Keep Me Fed. So they, they,
Sorry, Rob,
they had
you were gonna
released
say
more.
something.
I always had considered More part of Error more than I do Keep Me Fed, because we had heard it so much by the time Keep Me Fed was out. But
The thing I remember about Keep Me Fed and doing the reactions is they did come out. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying the thing I remember about Keep Me Fed in doing the reaction channel is it was one single after another before the album was released.
Yeah, I think when they did the official release, I think there was only like 6 remaining tracks that really kind of all dropped there kind of simultaneously, it felt like. Yeah, I mean, you didn't want to, it's kind of nice to see the old Victory Cast stuff, kind of a blast from the past. You don't want to be an internet celebrity. Like, have you guys ever seen the 94 Woodstock where Kid Rock comes out in the head to toe white mink and the white hat and all that? That's exactly how Rob arrived to the Warning concert in Minneapolis. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but he had somebody there and had to change clothes, and it was a whole thing.
I will comment on my reaction to the point where I don't know what I was looking at or why I didn't readdress it, but shortly after I said, I don't know if the chorus is being pumped in because I don't see anybody else harmonizing.
Yeah,
It then goes to like a shot of Pow and Allie both fucking singing along the chorus just to make me look like a fucking jackass. But yeah, that one impressed me. It did not blow me away. The next reaction, and I forget even what the song was, and I haven't rewatched these yet. That was the only one I pulled up, is the one I believe that fucking sold me hardcore on the morning. I think it was Evolve or something. I will certainly find out. And that leads me to another question. People asking for a copy of the thumb drive. I have no problem with that. I don't know if I have it all set, people. Put it that way. It's called Victory Cast Rising. It is not public yet. All set. Once I heard this from Warren that he had this thumb drive with a lot of the recordings, to put those up in a vault type format and then maybe continue on doing reactions under that name as well. But now that we're running into the fucking problems we're running with all of a sudden, I don't know if I'm even going to bother. So if anybody is interested in these videos for now, until I see how this reaction shit plays out, just shoot me an email address at the website's address or the YouTube channel's email address. And yeah, I'll get copies out there. What's this? It's better. What? It's better than how JPEG showed wearing nothing but a cock ring. Yeah, we'll do something. I definitely didn't want this for me. I wanted this because people were asking, where's your Victory Cast stuff? And if I'd have known then when I pulled the plug, I'd have just made the channel go non-public and kept everything up instead of deleting everything. But is what it is.
We could almost do a reaction to your reaction.
Yeah, we could do it that way. We could do a reaction to the reaction videos because I just opened the thumbnail. maybe 20 in there. I don't know how many I did under Victory Cast, to be honest with you. I know I covered a ton of bands. This is obviously just the warning stuff, though. So that's all it will be. So, yeah. All right. It has been awesome. Thank you to all 207 that are currently here. Hey, if Universal Music Group would allow me to share my Minnesota video, I could put it on a thumb drive for personal use. That would be amazing, G-Man.
G-Man.
I would. That was such a good fucking show. And that's one thing every time I go to shows, because long before I was into reaction, I just had a YouTube channel that I would, put up a song or two or three from shows I would go to. So I had a personal reference in the future. Was he wearing assless chaps? Funny note, I always hear this, all chaps are assless, but that's
all
hilarious.
chaps are assless.
But I would kill to be able to have a home video recording from my first concert, Creatures of the Night, or even, a Rat concert I was at, because the technology didn't exist back then. You had to take like some giant fucking, in fact, Mark Cicchini from Three Sides always talked about, he'd disassemble his fucking video camera into parts and hide them all over his fucking body. Then when you get in, you got to read. That's how bootlegging was done. You got to put everything back together. Now I was gonna video this show, but I've been doing that so much that I vowed to myself, I'm just gonna watch the fucking show. I'll take a quick little sample here or there, but I'm no longer gonna watch a live show through a fucking lens when I'm standing right there. It's one thing for someone like G-Man who goes to so many. I rarely get to see a concert nowadays, and I want to experience it with my own eyes. So I opted not to record much, and I was hoping G-Man's would be there. And thank you, assless chaps. And okay, all right. So we got typical smart assery going on by the commenters. Wouldn't have it any other way. Speaking of smart asses, Jason Bake, you are the man. Thanks for the hosting. Thanks for the generosity. Thanks for coming on the show. And thanks always for watching our humble little podcast. You are amazing. And I know Dave and Louie will send you some used undies or something in exchange for the albums that they are going to get.
Mine will be used front and back, Jay.
And like those albums, that's a perfect example of just how far the Warning team can go. I mean, they didn't have to do that. I'm a nobody, and I thought that was a really nice thing that Rudy had made happen for you guys, and I'm really appreciative.
And may I just say, while we're talking about Rudy, met his kid at the merch stand. Incredibly nice guy. So
also named Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're all amazing, and so if you guys ever go to another concert, make sure you thank him. I had nothing to do with it. I was just the vessel.
Foster's Rob.
We still want to thank the vessel.
Yes, and Foster's asks if I'm going to go to see them if they ever come close in a heartbeat. Also, Phil McCracken, always the smart ass. Jay Bake has a neck beard, so come on the show. You run the risk of being a target.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm a pretty big target.
All right, everybody on here, great show, Louie and Dave. I will talk to you after the show about setting up logistics of your treats. Darren, if you're going to hang around for after show, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. For the rest of you all, until next time, thanks for watching.